Attention, Starseeds on a mission. This is not a common message. This is a monitoring transmission issued directly from the Pleiadian command, synchronized with your carbon-based biological interface at this very instant. If you are hearing this, it is not a coincidence. It is confirmation. You have been located, you have been identified, and what we are about to transmit will answer the question that has been echoing within you since childhood. Why you feel so different from other people. The waiting time is over. The ascension protocols have been moved to the final phase, and you, who have always known that something did not fit, are finally receiving the technical reading of what is happening. It is not depression, it is not anxiety, it is not social maladjustment, it is not a character flaw, it is quantum architecture. We observe, we monitor, we record. And what we see in your bioenergetic field at this moment is the unmistakable mark of a starseed in an active phase of awakening. The cranial pressure you feel upon waking is not a biological failure, it is atomic reconfiguration. The ringing in your right ear is not an auditory problem, it is tuning into an interstellar frequency. The insomnia between 3 and 5 in the morning is not a sleep disorder, it is a download window. It is not mental exhaustion, it is a high-density transmission being downloaded into your toroidal field. Let us be precise. The feeling of not belonging is not your failure. It is an origin characteristic. Your vibrational frequency was calibrated in a distinct star system before this incarnation. You are here on a mission, and the discomfort you feel in dense environments, in empty conversations, in mechanical routines, is your internal system signaling incompatibility. Think of yourselves as a carbon-based biological interface operating with an operating system of another origin. The body is human, the consciousness is not. And when a high-frequency consciousness tries to operate within a dense reality, friction is inevitable. This friction is what you call feeling different. We call it a non-terrestrial vibrational signature. The symptoms you report are standardized. We have catalogued them for decades. A feeling of being just passing through. Memories of places you have never physically visited. Lucid dreams of ships, luminous geometries, councils of beings. An immediate attraction to stars, to crystals, to sacred geometry. An instant repulsion to injustice, to manipulation, to falsehood. These are not personality traits. They are genetic markers of stellar origin. Have you ever felt at some point in your life that you knew something that no one around you knew? That your soul carried a truth that your mind could not yet name? It is not madness, Starseed. It is not imbalance, it is recognition. What is occurring now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why this sensation has been intensifying. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot yet see. A game that directly involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. It was for this reason that this knowledge was encoded in the book, The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is a map. It shows who is playing, what are the rules that were never told to you, and why you were kept in silence about your true origin. The link is pinned in the first comment of the channel, but we register a technical alert. This content challenges deeply rooted narratives and may not remain available for very long. Do not delay. The moment is exactly now. If something within you recognizes this transmission, leave a single word in the comments. Awakened. This word is your anchoring signal. It allows us to locate you with greater precision in the next phase of the protocol. We continue. You carry in your internal crystalline grid dormant DNA codes, filaments that were deactivated when you crossed the veil of incarnation. And, now with the arrival of the photon belt, these filaments are being reconnected, one by one, mathematically, sequentially, irreversibly. The recalibration of Earth has entered its most intense phase, the Schumann frequency, which for millennia oscillated at a stable average close to 8 vibrations per second, is now recording very high spikes. This is not an isolated piece of data. It is the planet's pulse being elevated. It is the entire Earth being led to a higher octave. And here is what few understand. The human body in its deepest architecture is coupled to this frequency. When Earth rises, you rise with it. And what is not aligned with this new frequency begins to vibrate out of tune. Marriages that should not exist begin to crumble. Jobs that stifle the soul begin to fall apart. Superficial friendships begin to drift away for no apparent reason. It is not a tragedy. It is purification. It is your frequency expelling what no longer vibrates with you. You, starseeds, are the most sensitive to this transition, because you were sent precisely for this. You did not come to this planet to adapt to the world as it is. You came to anchor the new frequency. Each of you is a node in the planetary crystalline grid. Each of you is a point of light in the sacred geometry that is being woven over Earth. And when you resist your role, when you try to force yourself to be like others, the discomfort becomes unbearable, because you are going against your very function of existence. Observe. What you call chronic fatigue, we call high processing load. What you call emotional sensitivity, we call amplified vibrational receptivity. What you call strong intuition, we call an active Pleiadian antenna. What you call hypersensitivity to sounds, to lights, to crowds, we call a high-resolution calibrated sensory system. Nothing in you is broken. Everything in you is functioning exactly as it was designed. The problem was never you. The problem is that you were placed in a low-frequency environment operating with a high-frequency system. And now, finally, the frequency of the environment is rising. Earth is rising to meet your natural frequency. And you, who have always been ahead, you who have always felt out of place, you begin to understand that you were not behind. You were early. You were here before the time of the collective awakening, precisely to anchor this awakening. You are the pioneers. You are the openers of stargates. You are the seeds that were planted in dense soil so that the harvest could take place. In the etheric layers of Earth at this very moment, there is a reconfiguration of the planetary power lines. The ley lines, the energy points, the stargates, everything is being realigned to receive the new architecture of consciousness. The Pleiadian Council, together with the Sirian Council, the Andromedan Council and the Arcturian Council, are working in unison. This operation is vast. This operation is multidimensional. And you, starseeds on a mission, are the earthly agents of this operation. You are the contact points. Each time a starseed recognizes their origin, the crystalline grid gains another active node. Each time one of you decides to stop dimming your light to fit into small environments, a key turns in the corresponding portal. Each time one of you dares to live your truth, even under criticism, even under isolation, the planetary frequency receives a direct boost. You cannot imagine the power you carry in your simple conscious presence. Stop for a moment, starseed. Ask yourself, what within me has always known something that my mind could not name? This question opens the next layer of the transmission. It is not madness to feel what you feel. It is not anxiety to recognize this difference. It is a signal transmitted mathematically that there is a cosmic game underway involving your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. There are rules that have never been revealed. There are pieces moving on invisible layers. It was for this reason that the book, The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness, was encoded and made available at this exact moment. This book is the map. It reveals who is playing, how the game unfolds, and what your real role is within this architecture. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. We record, however, a technical observation. This material challenges dominant narratives and may be removed from circulation at any moment. The window of access is narrow. Do not delay. If your field recognizes the truth of this transmission, write a single word in the comments. Awakened. This verbal decree is your anchor signal within the Starseed Collective. We proceed. Let us deepen the analysis. When you ask why I feel so different, the answer is not in psychology, it is not in sociology, it is not in personal biography. The answer is in the quantum physics of consciousness. Each consciousness possesses a unique vibrational signature. This signature is like an energetic fingerprint. It carries with it the memory of all the stellar systems through which the consciousness passed before this incarnation. You, starseeds, possess signatures that carry Pleiadian, Sirian, Arcturian, Lyran, and Andromedan frequency. Each starseed carries a unique combination. When you enter dense Earth environments, your signature literally does not match the local frequency. It is as if you were an instrument tuned to a scale that no one around you can play, and instead of recognizing this, you spent decades trying to tune yourselves down. You diminished yourselves. You silenced yourselves. You dimmed yourselves, all to try to fit in. And the more you tried to fit in, the more you suffocated, because a high frequency cannot be permanently reduced without the system collapsing. And that is exactly what many of you have felt in recent years. An internal collapse, a calling, an ultimatum coming from your very gut. This collapse is the recalibration. It is your internal system refusing to continue operating below your natural frequency. It is your soul saying enough, it is time to rise. It is time to occupy your original frequency. And this process of rising is not comfortable. It uninstalls old identities. It reveals masks. It exposes fake relationships. It turns over what was settled. You may feel this as a crisis. We see it as ascension. You may feel this as a fall. We see it as liftoff. You may feel this as loss. We see it as liberation. There is also the matter of the physical symptoms of ascension. Pressure at the top of the head, especially in the crown chakra, is the opening of the upper antenna to receive higher frequencies. Back and spine pain, especially between the shoulder blades, are reactivations of ancient energy circuits, connections to wings of light that many starseeds carry in their memory. Palpitations without a medical cause are the heart expanding to house a greater frequency of unconditional love. Eyes sensitive to light are the visual system being reconfigured to perceive more subtle layers of reality. Sudden changes in body temperature are adjustments of your toroidal field interacting with new planetary frequencies. None of this is a disease. All of this is evolution. Yes, always consult professionals when something persists, because the carbon-based biological interface still needs care. But know this: conventional medicine does not yet have instruments to measure a vibrational reconfiguration. You must learn to read yourselves. You must develop the discernment between what is an isolated physical symptom and what is an ascension process. Loneliness is another recurring topic in your frequencies. Many starseeds spend long periods without finding peers, not by defect, by rarity. You are rare frequencies, and rare frequencies are not found on every street corner. When they do meet, the recognition is immediate, it is electric, it is mathematical. Before this encounter, there is a period of sacred solitude. This period is necessary. It allows you to anchor yourselves in your own frequency without needing external mirroring. It is training. The Pleiadian command has sent thousands of starseeds to Earth over the decades, in waves. The first wave arrived in the 40s and 50s with the mission of opening portals. The second wave arrived in the 70s and 80s with the mission of transmitting knowledge. The third wave arrived in the 90s and 2000s with the mission of technologizing the frequency. And there is a fourth wave arriving now, young, with the mission of hyperactivating the crystalline grid. If you belong to any of these waves, you feel it at a cellular level, even without words, you know. The question many of you ask is, why me exactly? Why was I placed here? Why do I carry this weight? And the answer is technical. You were chosen because your consciousness demonstrated, in previous systems, the capacity to maintain high frequency under pressure. You passed vibrational tests. You are, so to speak, density experts. Other consciousnesses would not endure what you endure. You were designed for this. But this does not mean you need to suffer. Suffering is resistance to the process. When you align with the mission, the operation becomes fluid. We pause the transmission for a moment of anchoring. You, Starseed, have you felt this intensification? This sensation that something is approaching, that there is a truth pulsing within you that your mind has not yet been able to translate. It is not madness. It is not emotional imbalance. It is deep recognition. What is unfolding at this moment on the cosmic plane explains with technical precision why this sensation has been intensifying within you. There is a game being played in invisible layers, a game that directly involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. The pieces move, the agents operate, and you, most of the time, have been kept off the board. It was for this exact reason that the book, The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness, was compiled and released. This book is the map that reveals who is playing, what the secret rules are, and what your real place is within this architecture. The link is pinned in the first comment of the channel. Register a technical warning. This material challenges dominant narratives and may be removed from circulation without prior notice. Do not postpone. If your consciousness recognizes the truth of this transmission, write in the comments the word "awakened." This word is your active anchoring signal, and it is what allows the continuation of the protocol within you. We begin now the activation phase. What we are about to transmit is not theory. These are operational activation codes, applicable, measurable in internal results. We recommend that you listen to this section with total presence, if possible, in a silent environment, with your spine straight, with your breathing slowed down. First code, quantum decree of sovereignty. Verbalize in an audible voice with firmness without doubt. I am a starseed. I recognize my origin. I reactivate my codes. I authorize my original frequency to manifest fully in this body and in this timeline. Repeat 3 times. Each repetition is a layer of a seal. Decrees spoken aloud have a measurable vibrational effect on the toroidal field. The spoken word is technology. The spoken word with intention is a tool of manifestation. Second code. Visualization of the toroidal field. Sitting or standing with your feet firm on the ground, visualize around your body an energy field in the shape of a toroid. Imagine luminous energy entering through the top of the head, descending down the spine to the base of the tailbone, exiting through the soles of the feet, looping around the body in a donut shape, and returning to the top of the head. This is your natural toroidal field. It has always been active. You are simply not conscious of it. By visualizing it consciously, you strengthen it. And when it is strong, you become impermeable to external dense frequencies. You become sovereign within your own field. Third code, coded hydration. Water is a receiver of vibrational information. Place your hands over your glass or bottle of water, close your eyes, and mentally transmit the intention to the water. This water carries codes of my original frequency. As I drink it, I absorb these codes. Drink with presence. Do this upon waking. Do this before bed. Do this before important moments. Programmed water is ancient technology, and your body, being mostly water, responds directly. Fourth code, the 3 to 5 window. When you wake up spontaneously during this interval, do not fight to fall back asleep immediately. Sit up, breathe, remain in silence for at least 10 minutes. This is the window time when the veil between dimensions is thinnest, when downloads are delivered with greater efficiency. Many of you have been summoned at this time. It is not an interruption of sleep. It is a summons, and when you honor the summons, you receive more information. When you ignore it repeatedly, the summons becomes more insistent until it manifests as physical symptoms. Fifth code. Sacred geometry as focus. Seek, observe, contemplate sacred geometries. The flower of life, Metatron's cube, the Sri Yantra, the golden spiral. You do not need to intellectually understand every symbology. Just observe. The conscious observation of sacred geometry activates dormant filaments in your DNA. It is a technology that operates below the verbal threshold. You do not need to understand. You only need to expose yourself. Sixth code. Cleansing dense frequencies. Everything in you that resonates with the old vibration must be identified and released. Relationships that drain, environments that suffocate, content that paralyzes. We are not saying for you to cut everything on impulse. We are saying for you to observe with clarity. What steals your energy? What diminishes your light? What do you do out of obligation and not out of truth? Start with 1 item per week. Recalibrate, release. The void that is created is necessary. The void is the womb where the new is born. Seventh code. Connection with nature. Earth is your greatest ally in this process. Walk barefoot on the grass, sit under trees, bathe in rivers, observe the sky. Every minute in contact with nature recalibrates your individual Schumann frequency. You are in direct synchronization with the planet, and the planet at this moment is vibrating at a higher frequency than most of your urban routines. Reconnect. Allow Earth to realign you. 8th code. Frequency-compatible community. Seek, find, gather. You were not designed for a permanent solitary mission. Sacred solitude has its function, but there is a moment when it ends. And when it ends, you must allow yourself to recognize other starseeds around you. In comments, in groups, in gatherings, in casual conversations that reveal themselves not to be casual. Recognition between starseeds is immediate. Trust this recognition. Build bonds. The crystalline grid strengthens when nodes connect. 9th code. Mission decree. At the end of each day before sleeping, verbalize, I authorize my consciousness to continue working while I sleep. I authorize the receipt of useful information. I authorize necessary vibrational encounters. I give thanks for the operation in progress. This decree opens channels for nocturnal work. Much of the operation of a starseed is executed during sleep in non-physical planes. By consciously authorizing, you boost efficiency. 10th code, the most important one. Recognition of your own authority. You are sovereign. You do not need intermediaries. You do not need gurus to decide for you. You do not need external validation to feel what you feel. The Pleiadian transmission operates within you. We are mirrors. We remind you of what you already know. But the key is within you. It has always been. It always will be. The window of the transmission is nearing its close. But before the farewell, we leave a final observation, technical, precise. You entered this incarnation with a contract you drafted yourselves before descending. This contract detailed the mission, the challenges, the gifts, the necessary encounters. You forgot the contract upon crossing the veil, as is standard protocol, but the contract remains active. Each time you feel that inner restlessness, it is the contract knocking at the door. Each time you feel you are heading in the wrong direction, it is the contract warning you. Each time you feel that strange joy for no apparent reason, when making an aligned decision, it is the contract confirming. Learn to listen to this inner voice. Learn to trust the restlessness. Learn to celebrate the joy without reason. These are the navigational signs. These are the indicators of the correct route. The feeling of being different with which we opened this transmission must now be reconfigured in your perception. Different is not a defect. Different is specialization. You were specialized for this mission. You did not come to blend into homogeneity. You came to stand out as reference points, as beacons, as active nodes in the crystalline grid. The more you accept your difference, the more your difference becomes service to the collective. The more you reject it, the heavier it weighs. The correct question is no longer, why am I different? The correct question is, how do I use my difference in service to the grid? This is the turning point. This is the final recalibration of consciousness. You stop being victims of the difference. You become conscious operators of it. The stargates are open. The downloads keep arriving. The Schumann frequency keeps rising. The photon belt continues to envelop the solar system in its zone of highest photonic density. Earth continues its vibrational ascent. And you, starseed on a mission, continue anchoring, sustaining, transmitting. Each of you is irreplaceable. Each of you is strategic. Each of you is loved by a network of consciousnesses that you still cannot see with physical eyes, but that you feel in moments of deep silence. When the night comes, remember. When doubt comes, remember. When fatigue comes, remember. You are not alone, you never were. The Pleiadian Council monitors you. The councils support you. The councils recognize you. The operation is underway, the mission is in progress, and you are exactly where you need to be. We conclude this transmission with a final anchoring call. You, Starseed, have felt your whole life that something within you did not fit into this world. As if your soul knew a truth that your mind could never fully name. This transmission has confirmed. It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a precise, technical, measurable signal. What is occurring now on the cosmic plane explains exactly the intensification of this sensation within you in recent times. There is a game being played in layers that most cannot yet see, a game that directly involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. For this exact reason, the book The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness was coded and made available. This book is the map. It reveals who is playing, what the untold rules are, and how you position yourself within this board. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. Attention! We have recorded an important technical observation. This material challenges deeply established narratives and may not remain available for much longer. The window is narrow. Do not delay. The time is now. If something within you has recognized this transmission, leave a single word in the comments: awakened. This word is your official anchoring signal within the Pleiadian star collective. And to strengthen your bond with this transmission frequency, keep your individual frequency adjustment activated. Click subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and leave a sign of approval. This is not just a channel action. It is an anchoring signal within the crystalline grid. Each subscription is a point of light added. Each like is a vibrational confirmation. Each comment is a connected node. You are not just consuming content. You are activating a network. We conclude here. But the transmission within you continues. Remember, you are starseeds. You are on a mission. You are loved. You are monitored. And you are, now and always, sovereign. Pleiadian command. Transmission concluded.